everybody, what's up? Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, before jumping any further into today's video, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. We are trying to reach 6K by the end of March. That is the next subscriber goal for this channel, so if you haven't joined the family already, please do. I post new videos 3 times a week, so there is always new content to binge. I have been wanting to get back into beauty videos. I had to take a little bit of a break when I was moving because obviously like my makeup collection, or at least most of it, was like in a box and everything was just like really disorganized. But now that me and Kevin are settled, the beauty videos are back. I got a lot of questions from you guys recently asking like if I was done with the beauty videos here on this channel, which like definitely isn't the case. And if you've been keeping up with me on my vlogs recently, then you would definitely know that I did quite a bit of downsizing when it came to like my overall makeup collection. And I did this honestly just so that I had less to search through and so that I knew everything in my makeup collection was something that I loved and something that I was definitely going to use. Dakota decided to make her video entrance early. She's gonna sleep right behind me now, I think. So in today's video, I wanted to go through my foundation collections and show you guys what I decided to keep in my collection, and in my opinion, what are the best foundations for combo to oily skin, because that is definitely what I have. When deciding what to keep, I was incredibly picky, and I feel like I really did keep like the best of the best. To me, these are always going to be my ride or die foundations unless like the formula randomly changes. And I mean, maybe like I'll try new foundations out in the future, but like to me, these are always going to be loves for me. I just thought it would be really helpful to show like a realistic foundation collection and quite a minimal collection as well. Without further ado, I am just going to hop into the video. I'm going to leave links for all of the foundations mentioned down below, and let's get into it. I want to start with the lightest coverage foundations first and the tinted moisturizers that I have. I used to think that as somebody with combination to oily skin, I was never going to be able to wear the tinted foundations and like the skin tints, but I think the key is you just kind of have to try a lot out and you have to be really picky. And through my trial and error, I have found 2 that I just absolutely love. The first of which is going to come as no surprise to anybody that watches my videos, but the first is the Glossier Skin Tint. This stuff is seriously so good. It gives you just a little bit of coverage to kind of like even out your skin. It's a natural finish, it's radiant, but again, it doesn't get greasy throughout the day. I would say out of all of the foundations in my collection, this is the one that I use the most on like an everyday basis, because unless I'm filming or I have a day filled with like a ton of like client zooms, I try and go like really light on the makeup, if not like any at all. I have mine in the shade G8, and what I love about their shade ranges is that they have a ton of like neutral, and I mean true neutral options. I have very neutral undertones, my skin does not pull pink and it doesn't pull yellow, so sometimes shade matching can be really hard, but this shade is just like my perfect match. Now if I want a tinted moisturizer with a little bit more coverage, this is what I reach for. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. That is a really long name. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this on YouTube, and I'm not sure why, because it is seriously so great. I've turned so many friends onto this tinted moisturizer. Even my mom loves it. She uses it literally almost every single day. I have mine in the shade Cashew 3.5, and I've actually been meaning to pick up a slightly deeper shade for when I'm self-tanned. It has a great amount of coverage for being a tinted moisturizer, and it definitely has like a gel consistency, so again, for the combination oily skin people, this is great. The only thing that I will say about this is I have found you kind of have to be careful with the primer that you choose to use with this tinted moisturizer. One of my go-to primers is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, but I cannot use that with this tinted moisturizer because it will start to pill and my face just looks a mess. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. Maybe it's just a me thing. So typically I'll use my Laura Mercier blurring primer with this, and it works great. It's the perfect combination. So I wouldn't say like to be scared of this tinted moisturizer at all. I really do. I love it. You just have to be a little bit cautious. So now we're gonna get into the rest of my foundations. These are the medium to full coverage. I really like a buildable foundation. I don't like one that's gonna be like super full coverage and like cakey right out of the gate. I like something that's medium but buildable. That way I can really have like versatility with the product. I'm gonna just show these in no particular order, so please don't think I'm showing them from like my least favorite to my most favorite. But the first one that I wanted to talk about is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation. Again, I feel like there was a time where quite a few people were talking about this foundation, and then I like stopped hearing anybody speak about it, but I have always loved it literally since like the first week it came out. I have mine in the shade 41NN. It's basically just a light medium neutral shade. I bought this foundation in a little bit of a darker shade because at the time I realized I didn't really have any foundations for when I was self-tanned. This stuff is so good. It literally wears all day. It feels weightless, but it has a really, really matte finish. So you know that like your skin is gonna stay oil-free all day and your makeup isn't going to like wear off throughout the day. Because this is so matte, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody with dry skin or even like normal to dry. But if you're normal to combination or combo to oily, again, it's so great. I typically will apply this with a beauty blender or beauty sponge. It gives more of a medium coverage, but if I'm going like full out glam, I've definitely worn this to a few events. I will apply this with a brush and it is like 100% full coverage. For me, like nothing peeks through my foundation. This next foundation is definitely a cult favorite and I feel like it honestly works for literally any skin type. This is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I have to say that slowly or else I get like really tongue-tied. I have mine in the shade Natural. It's a light medium with, again, a neutral undertone. Something that I love about Hourglass is that they typically have a lot of neutral undertone selections, and even the foundations that pull a little bit warmer still typically work for me. This stuff is so good. I think I've been through literally 3 of these, which is how you know that's like a tried and true foundation, because sometimes I'm just like itching to try something new, but I love this stuff. This is the only stick foundation I've ever found to work for me. I really don't know why, but I'm not gonna question it. It is so easy to apply. It's super smooth and creamy, and what I love about this is it gives, again, a very natural finish. It's not radiant, it's just very skin-like and natural, but it doesn't get oily throughout the day. I'm sure there are people out there, but I have never found somebody who didn't like this foundation. I feel like it's a really safe bet if you're looking to try something out. Again, regardless of your skin type, I feel like a lot of people are hesitant to try out stick foundations because they think it's gonna be really hard to apply and it feels like you're gonna be like dragging it across your skin and it's gonna be really dry. But like I said, this is super creamy, really easy to work with. You can use a beauty sponge or a brush to blend it out, and I feel like you could even like take your finger and use it to just like spot correct if you were doing a really quick makeup look. I know it's definitely a little bit more of an expensive foundation, but I can't recommend it enough. These last 2 foundations are definitely the most expensive in my collection, but I really don't think that I could live without them. These 2 foundations are literally like my foolproof all-day wear glam foundations. When it's not COVID times, if I was going to an event or I was doing like a really full glam look that I didn't want to come off all day, these foundations were always the ones that I would grab immediately. Both of these foundations are transfer proof, so again, I knew that if I was ever going to an event where I was like hugging people, it wasn't going to transfer onto their clothes. I feel like I should just show these foundations already. So they are the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation and the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. So in the Double Wear, I am the shade 1W2 Sand, and in the Dior foundation, I am the shade 1N. So like I said, I definitely kind of use these 2 foundations for the same purposes, and I definitely think that they are somewhat interchangeable and kind of dupes for one another. So if you were deciding like which one to go for, I would say the main difference honestly is the formula and the consistency. Estee Lauder Double Wear, definitely a lot thicker when you initially apply it, but it still feels very skin-like. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of makeup sitting on top of your face. The Dior Backstage foundation though is definitely a little bit more watery when you initially like pour it out. And I will say too, the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, like I said, I typically do just save for like glam events and like full beat days. But the Dior foundation, because it is a little bit more lightweight and watery upon first application, I have found myself reaching for this for a few everyday makeup days, not all the time, but I definitely do think it's versatile and can be used for both. I do love them though. I know that this is a cult classic, everybody talks about it, but again, I feel like more people should be using this because it's seriously so good. And as a body foundation, I can fully attest to the fact that it looks beautiful on the body as well as on the face. Given the current times right now, I could also see both of these foundations being amazing for wearing with masks because they seriously like do not transfer. Can't recommend them enough. Definitely both splurges, but totally worth it in my opinion, and I have been through multiple bottles of both of these foundations. But there you guys have it. That is my entire foundation collection. Like I said, super minimal, but every single foundation I absolutely love. I just feel like by having a really condensed collection, you're never going to forget about a product and you're not going to waste anything. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and also click that subscribe button. We are trying to reach 6K by the end of March. That is the next goal for this channel. Be sure to follow me on all of my other social media networks, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, subscribe to my podcast, check out my Amazon shop. I love you all so much. I hope that you guys are staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Okay? Bye everybody.